What up? It's your girl KP, the sports chick. So there's been a question on my mind that I feel like I should get out. Well, it's kind of a statement. So I noticed that this is the time of the season. This is the last week that we just participated in, or the last weekend of the year, where there'll be a weekend without football, without professional or college football for the rest of the year, and it's September. So as we notice, there will be a lot of sitting in on Sundays. There will be a lot of rushes home from church. There will be a lot of people who are so engaged in their cell phones watching fancy football that they won't even be paying attention to the buffet, the conversation that you're having with your kids, and that you need to be punishing your kids for something that they threw across the dinner table, whatnot. This is what's happening across the country come this Sunday. And so with that said, I know that there are more and more women who are starting to like sports, like football especially. It's something about football that women like. Out of any sport, they may not know basketball, soccer, badminton, baseball, ice skating, whatever. But if they do watch sports, it's going to be football. And that's great. Anything that gets women interested in sports is great to me, but at the same time, why is it that women are so disinterested in sports? The majority. I'm not talking about all you other sports chicks out there. I'm just talking about the women who see football on TV and cringe at it like it's an infomercial and then change the channel to Real Housewives. What is it? Is it because men like it so much that it takes their attention away? Is it because it's not as entertaining as the Housewives? What is it? I've never been able to understand. I've liked sports since I was 10 years old. I've never been able to understand why everybody can't like football or why everybody can't like basketball. Why not? Let's all watch it. So across the country, I can't even watch, let's talk about me. I can't even watch a football game with my girlfriends. I have a sister who I can watch football with, I can talk with, we can talk stats, we can talk players, we can talk injuries, we can talk all that. But she is the only one. I don't have another single friend who I can talk to about sports other than the fact that they might be attractive or they like the color of the jerseys, whatever. That's the extent of it when it comes to women. Or, they might know a couple players off the top of their heads like JJ Watt, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Michael Jordan. But as far as active players go, there's not a lot. It would be a stretch to say that a woman who doesn't watch football knows who Aaron Rodgers is, but they will know who Cam Newton is, which is interesting. So, why is it that women can't get into sports like men do? I think that at the end of the day, it has a lot to do more with the competitive energy in a person, not so much that they're a man or a woman. And I also think that women don't give it a chance because men like it so much they can only assume that they're not going to like it. But I have been able to convert a couple of women, if I had, and I take full credit for this because I've had former roommates, I've had friends of friends who have sat down with me at Super Bowl parties, and once they sit with me and I actually tell them what's going on, then they seem to like it, or they'll email me or text me later on and say how much they like watching football and it brings them closer to their husbands or their boyfriends and that they love it. And we all know that there's an attractiveness to a woman who likes sports. I mean, more so than saying that their jersey is nice or what I said earlier, all that bloogity blue, all that stuff. So why is it that women can't just sit down, watch a game, and then if you don't like it, say you don't like it? I'm okay with that. But don't just say you don't like sports because your husband watches it all the time, you can't stand it, or because he's stuck in fantasy football, and he doesn't pay attention to me or the kids. Just give it a chance. That's a big part of the reason why I started fantasy football this year in my league, because the rookies were so important to me because I wanted them to see what it's like to play with no pressure, no strings attached, for a minimal fee to check out, see what fantasy football is all about. And then you can say you tried it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to do it ever again. But at least you tried it. And same thing with men who've never done it. I've met lots of men who aren't into sports. It's a a stereotype to say that only women don't like sports. There are lots of men out there that don't like sports. Most of them are very career driven, focused on their careers and other types of things like sailing, chess, anything except for like sports, full contact sports, or basketball or soccer or things like that. And they just don't watch it. I've asked people if they want to do fantasy football, and they say that they don't see a need for it, or they can't get into it, or they don't even watch football. So it goes on both ways. But I guess I want to hear from you, because I want to know how we can start a movement to give more men and women who don't like sports, well, especially women who don't like sports, involved. What are suggestions that you guys have? Because I know that it can only bring you guys together. I mean, unless you are you turn into a diehard Steelers fan and your husband's, a Cowboys fan, then that might be a problem. Or if you're a Redskins fan and your wife turns out to be a Cowboys fan, but that probably won't happen. More than likely she'll hop ship jump onto your team's bandwagon, and then you guys can live in sports bliss forever. So any suggestions you have, I'd appreciate it, because I would love to see more women that I can sit with at a bar and have a beer and be able to talk game stats, game importance, players, all that stuff. I would love to sit with a woman and just talk sports. So what are your suggestions? Make sure that you go to kpthesportschick.com or YouTube and leave comments there. And then you can also find me on social media at all the links just below this video. And thanks for checking me out.